Today, Saturday, the 15th of March 2025, we have some hand-picked match prediction to share with you, which of course will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to our hand-pick events, which we share to members only, as well as our top-notch bed-class tutorials to take your winning to the next height, then you want to make sure to subscribe to the Level 2 Pro membership package plan or the Level 3 Master Plan to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. Without wasting time, let's look at the event of today. But before we proceed, we want to say congratulations based on yesterday's event, for we are registered wins. And I will share with you the result before proceeding to the event of today. So let's proceed.
So based on yesterday's event, we recorded over 10 successful games. Congratulations, and I'll share with you the result. Looking at the first in the Australia A-League Women, we looked at Central Coast Mariners against Perth Women, at least 1.5 or 2.5 goals. It ended as 3 against 3. A total of 6 goals were scored, making it successful. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at Australia in the NPL Tasmania. We had 2 events, Glenoche Night and Clarence Zabra. 1.5 or 2.5 goal, ended as 4 against 1, a total of 5 goals. Successful. Congratulations. In the next, Launceston against Launceston United, where we looked also at 1.5 or 2.5 goals. It ended at 5 against 0, successful, making 2.5 goals to be possible. In the next, we looked at England in the Premier League 2, where we looked at Norwich U21 against Chelsea U21. We said Chelsea is going to lead, and we also look at the possibility of 1.5 and 2.5 goals. All cases were true, making it successful. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at Hungary in the NB1. We said that is Soroksa against Ferencváros women. We looked at the away to win and also 1.5 and 2.5 goals. It was successful, ended as 3 against 0, the away team leading, and 1.5 and 2.5 goals were successful. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at Turkey in the Super League, Galatasaray against Antalyaspor. We said the home Gala is going to lead, and also 1.5 and 2.5 goal. All cases were true. It ended at 4 against 0, making it a huge success. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at Germany in the Oberliga, Baden-Württemberg, Feldbach against Mannheim. We said at least 1.5 going full time. It was true. Successful. In the next, we looked at Belgium in the Pro League, Beveren against Lucerne Thames. It was postponed, so we actually skipped this one. In the next, we looked at Germany in the Regional Liga West, Duisburg against Schalke 2. We looked at Duisburg leading and also at least 1.5 or 2 goals over. Successful. In the next, we looked at women in the Super League, Everton women against Arsenal women, where we looked at 1.5 or 2.5 goal, ended at 4, 3 against 1. Successful. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at Saudi Arabia in the Professional League, Anas against Al Ahly. We looked at least 1.5 going full-time and Anas to lead. Both cases were true, ended as 3 against 1, successful. In the next, the Super League of Women in Belgium, Genk against Anderlecht, where we looked at the away team having more performances and at least for it to win, or having a double chance, and as well as at least goals probability, the win case was true, successful, ended as 1 against 0. Congratulations. In the next, Aberdeen women in the Scotland SWPL against Dundee United women. We looked at least 1.5 goals or 2 goals over. It was true, ended as 2 against 0, making 1.5 goal to be successful. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at a match in the Premier League, Cymru of Wales, Peanut against Cardiff Metropolitan, where we look at the home having an upper hand, either to lead or looking at double chance. It ended as 0 against 0. That was good. In the next, and finally, we looked at Premier League of France women, Lyon against Reims. It was a huge success here, 8 against 1, where we looked at Lyon women to lead and also 1.5 and 2.5 goals. All cases were true, successful, and congratulations. So we already start wins. Let's now proceed to the event of today.
And now let's look at the event of today. But before we proceed, I have a quick announcement to make. If you come here to the front page of our channel here, labeled as the Home tab, you're going to notice that we provide match prediction to members only in terms of goals match picks, corner kick event, basketball match pick, and so much event. For you to have access to this, you want to make sure to subscribe to the Level 2 Pro membership package plan or the level 3 master plan to have access to our handpick event to take your winning to the next height. Also, if you become a member of the level 2 pro plan, you're going to have access to the level 2 pro classes. This will give you access to top-notch live corner kick strategy, which you can use for your advantage. You're also going to have a simple trick to make consistent win step by step. Also, match prediction strategy you have never seen before. You also have access to that, followed by straight win and comeback strategy that will amaze you. Tactical straight win and 2.5 goal strategy that you are going to use, and 99% win rate strategy, which you can take advantage of it. So becoming a member of the level 2 pro plan will also give you access to all of these bet class tutorials in one place to take your winning to the next level. Also, if you're a member of the level 3 master plan, you are going to have access to the level 3 master classes. This will give you access to the excellent corner kick strategy being revealed, top secret AI tool we use to find games in terms of straight wins and goals probability, followed by the game changer corner kick strategy that reveals the top secret website we use to find corner kick events, as well as the strategy we use to find games and include in our sleep in terms of corners. You also have access to 6 amazing AI tools we use, followed by the home and away win match prediction strategy step by step, and finally 2.5 goal strategy that you can use to beat the bookies and win even more. Also, if you come to the front page of our channel here, in the section labeled as videos, we also provide free video tutorials to our viewers. And of course, if you come here, we have some suggestions, like for example, the 5 top soccer prediction apps, which we have actually reviewed some of the features of the best apps you can use. This is it here. Top 5 soccer prediction apps compared. We have compared some of the features and you can take advantage of what we have explained in this tutorial. Also, we have other suggestions which you can watch for free. And here we have titled it as the expert tip for you to make winning bet. And here, if you watch this video tutorial, you have some of the tips we have explained you can use also for your advantage. And also you can have access to the 5 hidden Sofascore features to make more win bet. We have explained some of the features of Sofascores you never know existed before. And taking advantage of all of these, you can also use it for your advantage. So without wasting time, let's look at the first event of our today's list. Looking at the first pick, we looked at Germany in the Bundesliga, a match between Union Berlin against Bayern Munich. For this particular event, the performance of Bayern Munich in recent events they have had have proved that they are good and they are very offensive, scoring 2 and 3 goals in each event they have had in the Champions League and also in the Bundesliga recently. Of course, looking at that of Union Berlin, on the other hand, they concede too much number of goals. The defensive strength is not good. And looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had for the Bundesliga, the form of the away, as you can see here, in terms of the performances they have recently had at the away, Bayern Munich, the away team, have proved to be good. They sit on the 3rd place, scoring 7 goals in 5 events, conceding 4. But comparing to that of the home in terms of the recent performance, you're going to see that the home is not very good in terms of defense, and they sit right on the 15th place. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, looking at everything in place, we are looking at Bayern Munich to be the favorite to either win in full time as one of the major picks, or to look at least 1.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Italy in the Serie A, a match between Udinese against Verona. For this particular match prediction, of course, looking at the recent performance of the home team Udinese, they have proved to be very good, scoring 3 goals in each event. The opponent, on the other hand, proved that they concede too much number of goals. You can see they had a game against Juventus, AC Milan. They have conceded too much number of goals with huge losses. The defensive trend is not good. Comparing the stand performance in terms of recent event they have had by the game of the home and away, of course, the home Udinese proved that they are better, sitting on the 6th place, scoring 8 goals in 5 gameplay, conceding 4. But that of the opponent, on the other hand, in terms of the recent event they have had, based on their performances, they sit right here on the 14th place with a weak defensive line, conceding 6 goals in 5 events. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the recent performance of the home have proved to be better. And of course, the away also want to impress. And looking at everything in place, we'll look at least 1.5 going full time, or the probability of the home to either lead or a double chance. So 1.5 going full time is one of them. The possibility of the home to lead, and also at least a double chance for the home team. These are the value bets for this particular pick. Looking at the next, we looked at Netherlands in the Eredivisie. We are looking at Walwijk against PSV Eindhoven. The recent performance of the away PSV Eindhoven have proved to be good. They've had games in the Champions League against Arsenal, 2-2, against Guayaquil Eagle, 3-2. They always try to score. And also in the Champions League, they have proved that they can play better. Comparing to Walwijk, they have only had games in the Eredivisie itself. Looking at the recent stance in terms of the recent event they have had for this particular gameplay, the form of the away PSV Eindhoven have proved that, of course, to sit right here on the 10th position with offense that is good and defense that is not tight. This gives advantage also of the home to take advantage of the weak defense. And since the offense of the away is also good, we look at the fact that the home defense is not very tight as well. You can see why the defense is not very tight and the offense is also good. That's both of the two sides are good at offense and the defense not very tight. They will take advantage of each other. So we're looking at more shoot on and off target resulting to at least 1.5 goals. So look at 1.5 goal in this event. For this particular event, we are looking at least the possibility of 1.5 goal or 2 goals over. This is our major pick for this particular event. Looking at the next, we looked at Belgium in the Super League women. Leuven women against Genk women. In this event, the performance of the home, Leuven have proved to be very good, scoring 1, 6, and 3 goals in each event. Genk, on the other hand, proved to concede too much number of goals. The defensive line is not very good. They had the game recently with Anderlecht, they conceded 4. But that same Anderlecht had the game with this home team. They had almost of equal strength. Therefore, there is a probable chance of more goals here. Looking at the stance in terms of the recent event they have had by the form, the home have proved that in terms of the form, they sit here on a better place. Leuven scored 14 goals in 5 games played, having 4 wins. They are very good at offense and the defense is good. That of the away team in terms of recent performance proved that the defensive line is not good. They concede up to 13 goals to prove that the defense is not good. Therefore, we are looking at the home to take advantage of the weak defense of the away. So want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we are looking at the home to lead as one of the major pick. Also, at least 1.5 or 2 goals over in this event is the next possible pick in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Lithuania in the A-League, a match between Žalgiris against Banga. For this event, of course, the performance of the home Žalgiris have proved to be very good, scoring 2, 3, and 5 goals in each event. That of Banga, on the other hand, have proved that the defensive line is very weak. They are not good at defense, very open in defense. And looking at the stance in terms of the recent event they have had, the form of the home as compared to the home performance have proved that they are very good as a start for this tournament. That of the away team also have proved that based on the away game, they have just had conceded goals as well. And looking at everything, since this event is starting, we're looking at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, the home want to impress. And since this tournament is starting, we're looking at the home to either lead in full time as one of the major pick. But of course, both of the two sides also want to impress. So want to look at 1.5 goal in full time as the next major pick for this particular event. Looking at the next, we looked at Italy in the Serie A women, a match between Juventus women against Fiorentina women. We are looking at the performance of the home Juventus to be very good in terms of recent event they have had, scoring 4 goals in each event. The opponent, on the other hand, proved that they concede as much as they can. The defensive line is not very tight. Looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had, the performance of the home team by form have proved that they are good here, sit on the second place, scoring 13 goals in 5 games played, conceding 6. They are good at offense. That of the opponent, on the other hand, in terms of the recent event they have had, have proved that they sit right here on the 5th place, conceding much goals. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the home have proved to have very high offense. The away defense is not very tight, so look at the home to either lead and also the possibility of at least 1.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next event, we are looking at Turkey in the first league, a match between Sakaryaspor against CNE Malatyaspor. In this event, the performance of the home have proved that they do concede as much as they can, and they are also good at scoring 2, 1, 2, and 2, conceding 2, 3, 2, and 1, prove that the offense is good, the defense is also very conceding. But that of the away is just the worst. It concedes too much number of goals in the recent event they've had. Looking at stand performance in terms of the recent event they've had, the performance of the home have proved that they are better in terms of the recent event they've had by form of the home. They sit here, as you can see, in the 17th position, good average goal score rate, and the conceding power is also high. But that of the opponent proved to concede very, very much. And looking at the conceding power of the away in terms of the recent event they have had, they sit on the last place, conceding 20 goals in just 5 games played recently to prove that the defense is very weak. And as a result, the home is going to take advantage of the very weak defense of the away. So want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, since the defense of the away is very weak, we look at the home to take advantage of that. And therefore, we're looking at least 1.5 goal in full time or 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we looked at Estonia in the Mestre Liga, a match between Panu Jekiva Buz against Livadia. Performance of Livadia at recent event they have proved that they do score and they concede also too much number of goals. That of the home in the recent event have also proved that they do score a lot and they do concede as well. And looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had by the performances of the home and the home proved that they do concede. As you can see here, they sit in the 10th position with a very weak defense. They have just had 1 game conceding 3. But that of the away, in terms of the recent event they've had, proved that the offensive line is good, sitting on the second place. They've had one game scoring 3, conceding 2. And looking here at everything in place, want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the away proved to be very offensive and the home conceding, but these two want to impress since this tournament is starting. Therefore, 1.5 goal is one of our major pick, or 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we looked at Ukraine in the U19, a match between Kalos Kovalika and LNZ Cherkasy U19. The performance of the home have proved to be very good at offense, scoring high number of goals, 5, 3, and 4 in recent event they've had. But that of the way, in terms of the recent event I've had, proved that the defensive line is very weak, conceding too much number of goals. Looking at the stand performance by the recent event they've had, the way have proved that in terms of the form, they sit on a good place by the way performance. You can see sitting on the second, scoring 16 goals in 5 games played, winning all the 5 games to prove that the offense is very good and the good defense. But that of the home, in terms of the recent event they have had by the home game, of course, the defensive line is not good, considering 12 goals in recent event, prove that they are going to concede much, and the way is going to take advantage of the weak defense of the home. So we're looking at two major picks here in full time. So looking at that of this away team, considering to that of the home, you can see the home is good. 15 goals scored in 5 games played, considering 3. Very good offense and good defense. But the away, in terms of the away match play they have had, the defensive line of the away is very weak, considering 20 goals. They are very weak at defense, and therefore the home will take advantage of that weak defense and want to look at the home to lead as well as 1.5 going full time. For this particular event, of course, everything being explained, we are looking at the home to lead as one of the major pick, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Germany in the second Bundesliga, a match between Düsseldorf against Regensburg. In this event, the performance of the away have proved to be very weak in defensive line, conceding too much number of goals. But that of the home, in terms of the recent event, proved that they do score and they do concede as well as much. The stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had proved that by the form of the home. Of course, the home team have proved that in terms of the recent event they have had by the form table. They sit here, as you can see, they sit on the 13th position. The average goal score rate is good, 10 goals in 5 games played, considering 12, good at offense, weak in defense. That of the opponent, in terms of the recent event also they have had by the recent game played, you're going to see that the defensive line is very weak, conceding too much number of goals, and as a result, we want to look at least 1.5 goal here in full time. For this particular event, at least 1.5 goal is our major pick for this particular event. Looking at the next, we looked at Germany in the second Bundesliga, Elfsberg against Preußen Münster. In this event, the performance of the home have proved to be good, scoring 4, 2, and 2 goals in each event. But that of its opponent conceded too much number of goals with a very weak defensive lineup. Looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had by their performances, the home, especially at home, have proved that they sit here in the position which is the 12th position, scoring 11 goals, conceding 11 with 5 games played, good at offense and also weak in defense. But that of the way, in terms of the recent event they have had, have proved that the defensive line is not very tight. You can see conceding 8 and the offense is weak. And looking here, we want to look at least 1.5 goal in full time. For this particular event, we want to look at least the possibility of 1.5 goals. So since the defensive line on both sides are not very tight and the offense of the home is very good, so at least 1.5 goal is our major pick. Looking at the next, we looked at Germany in the Regional Liga Bayern, Asbach against Hanphofen Helin. In this event, the performance of the home in terms of the recent event have proved that they are very good, scoring 2, 5, and 5 game goals in each event. But that of its opponent on the other hand concede as much as they can with a very weak defensive line. The performance by form of the recent event they have had, the form shows that the home Asbach here have proved that they are good. Sitting on the second place, they have scored 6 goals in 5 game play, considering 3. That's better as compared to the away. In terms of the defensive line, that proved that they are very weak in defense, considering 10 goals in just 5 game played. Therefore, the defense is not very good. So want to look at least 1.5 goal here also in full time. For this particular event, we are also looking at least 1.5 goal based on everything being explained. So 1.5 goal is our major pick. Looking at the next, we looked at Greece in the Super League 2, a match between AL Larisa against Makedonikos. In this event, the performance of the home have proved very offensive, scoring 4, 2, 3 goals in each event. They are very good at offensive strength. That of the away concede much, and the defensive line is not very good. Looking at the stand performance by the recent play they have had, the form of the home have proved that they are better sitting here in the first place. This tournament is just starting, scoring 4 goals in 1 game play, conceding 1. They are better, but that of the opponent in terms of the recent event have considered just 3 goals in 1 game play, scoring 2. So both of the two want to impress. So at least 1.5 goal, 2 goals over is our major pick. For this particular event, both side are good and want to impress. And since this tournament is starting, at least 1.5 goal is the major pick, or 2 goals over, since both sides want to impress. These are our major pick for this event. Looking at the next, we looked at Russia in the Supreme Division women. Zenit St. Petersburg women against Ryazan women. The performance of the home have proved to be better, scoring 1, 5, and 5 goals in each event. The opponent is very conceding, very weak in the defensive line. And looking at the stand performance of the recent event, the home have proved that they are better by form. Performance of the home have proved here. You can see this tournament is just starting, and of course, the home want to impress with a better form as compared to the away. We want to therefore look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, we want to look at the home to lead in full time as one of the major pick, or at least the possibility of 1.5 or 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we looked at England in the League 2, a match between Bradford City against Tranmere. For this event, the performance of the home Bradford have proved to be very good, scoring 3, 2, and 1 in each event. Tranmere, on the other hand, have proved that the defensive line is very weak. They concede too much number of goals. And looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event, the performance of the home Bradford City in terms of the form have proved to be better. Sitting here in the position that proved that they top this table, 5-game play, scoring 8, conceding 0. Very offensive and defensive based on this tournament. But that of its away, in terms of the recent event, have proved that they sit right here on the last place, almost the last, conceding 10 goals. Therefore, the whole want to take advantage of that weak defense to either lead in full time as one of the major pick, or at least 1.5 goal in full time. For this event, we are looking at least the home to lead, or at least 1.5 goal in full time based on the betting explained. Looking at the next year, we want to look at Scotland in the League One, a match between Arbroath against Dumbarton. For this event, the performance of the home in terms of recent event they have had have proved that they are good at scoring 3, 2, and 3 goals in each event. But that of its opponent Dumbarton, on the other hand, is very weak in the defensive line, conceding too much number of goals, giving advantage for the home to score. As a result, we want to look at the stands where the form of the home have proved that they sit on the better place, the second place, scoring 12 goals in just 5 events, conceding 4. They are good offense and good defense, but that of the way in terms of the recent event they have had by their performance have proved that they are very weak in defense, sitting on the last place, and the offense of the home want to take advantage of this weak defense. So look at the home to win, or at least 1.5 going full time. For this particular event, everything being explained, we want to look at least 1.5 going full time, or the home to lead. Looking at the next, we looked at Saudi Arabia Professional League, Al Akdod against Al Ahly. The performance of Al Ahly in recent event have proved that they are very offensive, scoring 3, 2, 3, 3, and 2 goals in each event. That of the home have proved that they are very conceding in recent event they have had. Looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had, the performance of the away in terms of the form have proved that they are good. And looking here, of course, they sit here in terms of the away performance on the second place, high offense and good defense. But that of the home, the defensive line is not very tight as compared to that of the away, and you can see it conceding 9 goals. Therefore, we're looking at the away to take advantage of the weak defense of the home to either lead in full time or at least 1.5 goals. So we are looking at least 1.5 goals in full time or the way to lead. And to those of you who want to access our handpick event that we share to members only, then you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro plan or Level 3 Master plan to have access to this feature to take your winning to the next height. The link is below this video description. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.